Right guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, The Mentor I Wish I Had. I think this video is probably going to be the most valuable video that I've ever shared on the channel to date, because I know that there are millions of you, yes, millions of you, sat there in jobs that you may love, that you may hate, and that you have a burning desire in the gut of your stomach telling you, should I quit my job and pursue becoming a full-time entrepreneur? Let's be honest as well, we're surrounded by different entrepreneurs, online gurus, educational mentors, all on social media now telling you that being an entrepreneur is exactly the way forward. So I'm going to give you a very balanced conversation that gives you the for and the against of whether you should quit your job and become an entrepreneur. But what I would say is you have to stay to the end, because until you've asked yourself every one of these questions I'm about to go through, you are not going to have a balanced decision and level head to be able to know whether you should quit your job now or in the future or never and become an entrepreneur, okay? But before we jump into it, let's cut to a quick intro from me of who I am and why I set up this YouTube channel. Before we jump into today's video, a short introduction from me. My name is Jonny Garrett, and over the past 7 years, I have built my own British independent luxury watch brand into a 7-figure business, all while grinding away at Britain's largest bank in London. With no investors, no debt, and no mentor, it was a challenging and lonely journey. I worked day and night meeting with hundreds of successful business owners who shared their lifelong knowledge with me to unlock everything I have achieved today. Why spend the next 7 years of your life learning the hard way when I can share that knowledge with you for free right now? So if you are ready to commit to your business dreams, hit that subscribe button now. Awesome. Now let's jump straight into the video about should I quit my job and become an entrepreneur. There's 4 questions that I am going to ask you. Yes, you looking at me through the camera, you need to write these down and ask yourself these questions. Question number 1. Do you have an operating business already? Do you have a business that exists? No matter how big or small, okay? You're in a full-time job, but have you started? Is there a hobby business there? Is there a lifestyle business there? Is there a business there which is almost close to becoming a full-time company that can fulfill your life? Are you watching this video now just thinking, I'm in a job and I want to be an entrepreneur, but I've just got a business idea? That is probably going to describe the majority of people who are watching this video. So don't panic if you haven't got a business idea just yet. It's going to come, believe me. If you subscribe to my channel, there'll be many different ways that I will tell you how you can come up with an awesome business idea. And actually, I think we're going to share on this journey together, and I can't wait to see you all grow with this channel. So question 1, do you have an existing business? Do you just have an idea, okay? Is it just a dream for now? Are you what I call a wantrepreneur or an entrepreneur? If you have an operating business, that is an awesome part to begin with, because you are already proving to yourself that you have the determination to go from idea to product or service to reality. You're proving to yourself that you're going home every night, you're knackered, but you're having your shower, or you're going to the gym, you're coming home, you're opening up your Mac, okay, or your computer or your phone, and you're actually getting to work. You're getting on the grind, you're getting on the hustle, you're going for it, okay? If it's just an idea, it's awesome. And what I always talk about is this burning desire, okay? You feel it right in the pit of your stomach. And actually, if I can talk from my experience, it actually becomes painful, you know? If you don't act on that burning desire or have an outlet to be able to channel that burning desire into, it actually hurts. I remember 7 years ago, I was sat around my family, my parents' kitchen table. I just came home on Christmas Eve, and I was speaking to a friend in the pub, and it wasn't until he told me about a crowdfunding platform called Kickstarter where fireworks went off in my head. I actually went around my kitchen table at midnight on Christmas Eve 7 years ago and broke into tears, because I knew that that was the outlet that would allow me to be able to set up the brand that is now in the top 10 watchmakers in Great Britain. So it just shows, guys, that sometimes when you have that burning desire, it has to hurt so much that you will then take action as a result of just how painful it is. So question one, quite an easy one, yes or no. Do you have a business operating now, or is it just a business idea? Question two, is it generating cash? So if the business is operating as it stands right now, is it generating cash? And the questions you've got to ask yourselves are, number one, what's the revenue? Okay. You can get so hung up as an entrepreneur in building a product or service, and you think that the website's super important, or the branding's so important, or your emails or your social media, and you have to look slick. But at the end of the day, I remember meeting with the founder of a swimming trunks company called Olabar Brown. He sold his swimming trunks line for an undisclosed amount to Chanel. And actually, I remember there's a famous scene where Daniel Craig from James Bond is wearing his swimming trunks coming out of the ocean. And he said to me, Jonny, what's your revenue? Like, ignore everything that you've put into it so far. I know you have a beautiful product. I know you have an incredible service. I know your story's impeccable. Tell me, pounds and pence, what's the revenue that you're generating, okay? Because I think sometimes entrepreneurs can get caught up in the idea and think, well, you know what? I've created a mood board. I've got something beautiful on Canva. I even have social media accounts, and I'm talking, and maybe I'm tweeting famous social media mentors, and they're getting back to me, and I feel like an entrepreneur. Yeah, you feel like it, but how much are you actually generating in cash? Because at the end of the day, if you want to set up a full-time business or even a hobby or lifestyle business, come on, you're not going to make it loss leading all of your life. It has to actually generate cash. And that's another important point, guys. You would have seen in the introduction. I was a banker for over 10 years. I looked after FTSE 100 construction companies. I looked after what you call mid-market companies ranging between 25 million up to 100 million. I even looked after small and medium enterprises with turnover from £250,000 to £1 million. So I like to think that I have given advice, looked at financial accounts, and really understood the entire financial spectrum from your labourer, electrician, taxi driver, right up to your FTSE 100 company that turns over billions of pounds. And the one rule that I learned was you need to have an incredible, what we call average daily net cash balance. All that means is you have to have cash in your business current account. So don't get hung up on, I need to get debt, okay? I need to get a bank loan to be able to start the idea off that I want. If you have cash in your current account, which will take you maybe 12 to 18 to 24 months, being able to pay your salary, cover the roof over your head, pay your utility bills, cover your food allowance, your petrol, you need to have cash of at least 12, 18, 24 months before even considering quitting your job. This is just my personal opinion, okay? So point number two is your business generating cash, or is it still just in that idea stage? Point number three is, do you enjoy either the business that you're already generating cash from or not generating cash from? Do you enjoy even just the pursuit and the hustle? Okay, even if it's just a business idea, are you still loving going home and almost going back home with more enthusiasm from your job than you have with your business? Okay, and as I said at the beginning, I actually liked my job, okay? I really liked my job. I liked the people that I worked with, but I knew that I had that burning desire and that there was a bigger calling for me over here. But you may be on the other side of the spectrum and you may absolutely hate your job. You need to make sure that in both outlets, as I've talked about in a previous video, you are crushing it both in your job and your personal business pursuit. But I just want to make sure, guys, that from the outset you're enjoying it, okay? Because if you're coming home and you're absolutely hating the idea of opening up your laptop, of jumping online, of going onto YouTube to watch a video like this, to self-educate yourself, or going onto school to sign up to an academy where you can upskill yourself in certain skills to become the best possible entrepreneur and version of you, then why are you doing it, okay? Why are you doing it? The love is in the pursuit. Success is the journey and not the destination. You have to love the pursuit, love the work. And I'll tell you, I've been doing this for 7 years now, and I can honestly say that every single day of me being an entrepreneur, it has never felt like a job a day in my life. As much as I loved working in the bank, it was a job. Yeah, okay. It was transactional. I got paid a salary. I got given annual leave. I got given a bonus. To hit that bonus, I had to achieve my own incentive. What I do here and what I've done for the last 7 years has never felt like a job a day in my life. And I think when you achieve that, in my opinion, that is ultimate freedom, ultimate fulfillment, and what everybody is trying to pursue in life. So, whether you have a business idea, whether you have a working business, whether you have a hobby business, a lifestyle business, or even a business which is generating more than your full-time salary, ask yourself the question, do you enjoy it? Or are you just getting caught up in this entrepreneur hustle? Because guys, I'll be honest, 90% of all startups fail. 90% of all Kickstarter projects and crowdfunding projects fail. So you need to work out and look around you when you're in work and think, am I the one in every 10 person here who is going to achieve my business dreams? Okay, so do you enjoy it? And to round off my final point, number 4, when you work in a big organization, a big corporate, normally you have the opportunity to take something called a sabbatical. Now, normally you have to work for that organization for at least 2 years, because then you have proven to the organization you have 2 years of loyalty, you have contributed 2 years worth to the organization, you've generated 2 years of income and return on investment to them. If they offer you a sabbatical, that means that you can take an unpaid leave of between 3, 6, and sometimes even 12 months. But remember, guys, it's unpaid. So make sure that you have savings or an average daily net cash balance of at least in this situation, 6 to 12 months to take that sabbatical. Now, a lot of people do this and they'll go off and they'll travel. You can do that as well, but make sure that you are working on the business remotely from around the world if you have, of course, an online digital entrepreneurial business. If you take that sabbatical, like what I did, okay, I took a sabbatical and I actually went with my now wife to Mexico. We worked from Mexico for 6 months. I built the business over that 6-month period full time whilst traveling around Mexico. And I'll tell you what, guys, we had a record month within that 6-month period from a sales standpoint. So it just shows, don't let the naysayers tell you that you have to be tied to a desk, or you have to be tied to a certain country, or you have to have a massive team. You can, at that time in my period of the business, I could be overseas and create the business digitally. And I had one of the best months that the business had ever had. But if I didn't take that 6-month sabbatical, I wouldn't have been able to prove, not just to the bank account to be able to grow to 12, 18, 24 months of cash buffer and security, but to myself that I was good enough to be a full-time entrepreneur. If I didn't do that, how would I ever have known when I finally quit my job and called up my boss to say, it's been a great journey over 7 years, but it's time to now pursue my business dreams? How would I ever have known whether I was ready for that massive challenge? And what I will say as well, guys, is by following that protocol, okay, and having an operating business that generated cash, that had 18 to 24 months of security in cash, that gave me huge fulfillment, more than enjoyment, made me absolutely love what I did, made me spring out of bed every morning, made me feel alive and still makes me feel alive. And then I took the 6-month sabbatical. You know, by the time I quit my job, it was the easiest transition I've ever made. It reminds me of a famous interview that Michael Jordan had, where he went from college basketball to the NBA. Okay, I don't know if you can remember this. And he was asked, Michael, how difficult has it been transitioning from college basketball into the NBA? He turns around and he goes, you know what? Pretty easy, I'd say. I mean, obviously he's the GOAT, the best that's ever lived. But it just shows, because of the hard work, the relentlessness, the drive, the persistence that he put in, and that I showed as well throughout my journey, that transition from being in a corporate job for 7 years in that position, but almost like 13 years of my life, to then becoming a full-time entrepreneur was easy because I'd put in all of the hard steps prior to it. So, in summary, guys, what I would say is this. Don't quit your job until you have a proven methodology, a proven business, a proven product or service that's generating cash, that has a 18 to 24 month cash buffer in there. So you know you have complete security that your bills are covered throughout that period. Ask yourself whether you enjoy it. You need to really love this because this is going to be your full-time career, okay? You need to also ask yourself whether there's the opportunity to be able to take a sabbatical from your work. That is the perfect, almost probationary period for you to almost have a job interview with your business and go, yeah, I like you. You've proven to me that over 6 months, you're a fantastic worker. So you're hired, you know? Now, what I would say is though, however, there is a situation where you may have to quit work immediately just on the business idea, okay? And you're probably thinking, whoa, where's Jonny going with this? Now, obviously we work in a very digitally advanced world. There's businesses out there, super impressive fintech companies. There's fast growing apps where it's all about customer acquisition, getting as many people onto the platform as possible. To grow a business like that, 99% of the time, you're going to need investment, and probably quite a substantial amount of investment. It may be angel investment, it may be a Series A, Series B, you may be raising 250k, 500k, or maybe millions of pounds. I can almost guarantee you that if an investor is giving you £500,000 plus of his or her money, do you really think that he or she is going to let you work full time in your career, in your corporate job, whilst you're building this business as a side project? Absolutely categorically not. So in that situation where you need investment to be able to grow, you are going to have to quit your job immediately. And what will probably happen is you're going to be given a few different hires that you're going to have around you, maybe a head of finance, maybe a head of growth. You might be given some offices in a city like London. And in that situation, yes, it is the right time to be able to quit your job. But if you're not in that situation and you're going through the motions, then don't quit the job, in my opinion, until you've gone through this really methodical process. Now, the beauty of this channel, guys, is I am going to literally walk you through over the coming years, okay, I'm in this for the long haul. I'm going to mentor and guide you through this entire process. So there's going to be so many more valuable videos where I will go into all of the little intricacies to guide you and hold your hand and be the mentor to you that I wish I had on my journey. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and absolutely subscribe. There's going to be so much more valuable content coming out. Drop a comment in the comment letting me know what topic you would like me to cover off next, guys. At the end of the day, I'm doing this for you. So you tell me what you want me to cover and I will be there for you. Now, you're probably thinking, Jonny, this has been a wicked video. I now know whether I should or shouldn't quit my job, but how do I actually build a successful business whilst holding down a full-time job? Fear not, I have you covered. The last video that I posted, which actually was the best performing video that I've done so far, covers off that exact topic. So make sure you watch that video next. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time.